Hi, these are the readings for Ascension Sunday. So, in some dioceses, they will celebrate Ascension Thursday, and then this Sunday would be the seventh Sunday of Easter. In our diocese and many others in the U.S., the Ascension is not celebrated on a Thursday, but moved to the Sunday. So that's the readings that we'll be using today. Solemnity of the Ascension of the Lord. So we're still in Acts, but now we're at the very beginning of Acts, and that's where Luke describes what he's writing here, that he's writing this story of the early church. Theophilus in Greek means lover of God. So he starts off with, I dealt with all that Jesus did and taught until the day that he ascended. So it refers to the ascension and then tells us what happened right before that, where he says that Jesus had appeared to them and says, this is how it's going to be. You're going to go out and spread the word. And instead of me doing it, it's going to be you, which really means us as well. But in particular, the apostles. And I like the toward the end of it, where it says these two men dressed in white garments stood beside the apostles. So they're like, hey, those guys weren't there before. Where did those guys come from? And they said, men of Galilee, why are you standing there looking at the sky? Do you ever see that thing, that, somebody will go in a crowd of people and they'll look up and then, other people start looking up, and before you know it, everybody's looking up. But these two, which, we kind of take to be angels, we're doing it the other way around. They're the ones saying, why are you guys looking up? So, basically, Jesus is going to come back. Now go do what you're supposed to do. So the responsorial psalm is praise that is fitting this event. It says that Jesus, went up to heaven, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he went literally, that they saw him taking off like a rocket or something. We have no idea what it really means. It just does mean, though, that this was the end of the earthly appearances as what they had been having, and that from here on out, it was going to be different. And Jesus did promise the Holy Spirit, so we're going to have Pentecost coming soon. So then also the second reading basically fits that same idea of what the preaching really was. The fundamental thing being the resurrection of Jesus. And then lastly, for the gospel, it's really at a closing point where, before the ascension, where Jesus says, this is the way it had to be. In all the scriptures and everything, we're saying that it was going to be a matter of my suffering and rising from the dead, and you are witnesses of this. Martyr, the word means witness, but certainly even those not martyred, we are all meant to be witnesses to the resurrection. The power of the resurrection should show in our lives, and in that way, it's really the best way. Somebody said, I think it was St. Francis of Assisi, preach the gospel always, when necessary, use words. So if we believe that Jesus rose from the dead and that he is in fact God incarnate who came to redeem us and carry us to the heart of God, then it seems reasonable that our lives would reflect that. So that's kind of it today. I kept it short. Hope you enjoyed.